It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the brand new Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Potawatomi Casino Hotel, alongside former Badger and Packer Gary Ellerson. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
The best 60 minutes of your day, the Gary Ellerson Homer Hour. Oh, baby. I'm going after Luke Fickell. I just want to let you know. I'm supposed to have Gary say the first thing. Would you like an opening statement, Gary?
What do you want to talk about, Homer?
You can't get away with what he said. That's crap.
What do you want to talk about?
I'd say it's BS, but only Paul Hornung has ever been allowed to say BS on the radio.
Yeah, you're not Paul Hornung. Yeah, you're not.
I'm not. I know I'm not. I just said I'm not.
Well, go ahead. You want to talk about Luke Fickell? Go ahead.
Doesn't matter who does the play calling. That's crap. We've followed football for 40 years. One of the most important questions ever is to ask who is doing the play calling. As a matter of fact, back to your great days, Forrest Gregg was the head coach. They brought in Bob Schnelker. And I said, so is he calling the plays? That's the first thing you want to know about any offense. Who's calling the plays? And Forrest Gregg kind of went, and then I said, a couple more questions. I said, I got to ask it again. Is he going to call the plays? He fumbled around, and I thought, you know what? I don't care that it's Forrest Gregg. A couple more questions went, and I said, I know it's the third time, but I'm going to keep asking until you say yes or no. He goes, yes, he's calling the plays. And he looked at me and he goes, are you happy now? And I said, yeah. And Luke Fickell says it really doesn't matter, that it's overrated. But you can't get away with that. And nobody called him on it?
Let me say this. And this is what I'm going to bring to the table for you media people that are upset. Does Luke Fickell owe you to tell you media people that he knows who calling the plays?
Yes. And you know why?
He owe you that.
Yes.
He owe you that.
Why?
Okay, fine. Let me just finish.
But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
No, but let me go to my next point. Fine. If he think he owes you media people that, fine. I don't necessarily disagree. Fine. But you know what matters? It matters to those guys in the locker room. We could give a two less than a what you know about whether we tell you media people what we're doing inside our locker room and who calling the plays on our offense. Those guys in the locker room, that's who it matters to, not you media types.
Fine.
I'm just saying that.
Well, that's fine. How come? Then you answer this.
Y'all want to be upset. Y'all be the media people. Y'all want to be upset because he owed y'all to tell who's calling the plays.
No. What he owed is an explanation. All right. If everybody
Why does he owe you an explanation?
Hold on. Let me finish. If everybody says the sun is hot, all right, and a coach says the sun is cold, he owes us a damn explanation as to why he believes it's cold. And he owes us a damn explanation why he says that about calling plays when no coach that I'm ever aware of, and maybe I'm wrong on one, has done that in 50 years. He called the sun cold. That deserves an explanation to humanity as to why. Now, he can come up with whatever reason he wants, but groups don't call the plays. How many groups called plays in your life as a football player?
Well, it is, though, and you know this, Homer, you're doing this for a long time. One guy called the plays, but there's input probably amongst 5 or 6 other assistants that puts together the play call or implements the offensive system. You got the running back coach, you got the wide receiver coach, you got the special assistant coach, you got the O-line coach. Everybody comes up with the game plan.
Correct.
And then the offensive coordinator, who's ever got that title, then heads up that game plan.
Yeah, he makes the final choice.
To the point,
hold on. And
he makes the final choice.
And if the offense fails, do they fire all the coaches? No. Who do they fire? Who's the first person they fire?
They fire the offensive coordinator.
Or sometimes they'll fire the guy calling the plays before they fire the offensive coordinator. They'll change the guy.
Depends on what the structure looks like.
Correct.
Who's ever got the play sheet, right?
Yeah.
Who's ever got the laminated play sheet, that's who getting fired.
And no coach, find it if you can, maybe you've got one, says, we all call the plays. We're all in this together.
Yeah, but I'm not walking this back. And what I'm saying to you is, you media types think he owes you something. I don't really care about that. I care about the guys in the locker room. Are they buying in to what they're being sold right now with what we're going to see on Saturday? And I don't know that. Those guys in the locker room and Luke Fickell's coaching staff, I want them guys to be together. I could care less what you media types think about what he said.
I know. Do you care that every football coach has said the sun is hot and Luke Fickell just told you it's cold?
You always trying to come up with some other stuff other way around. Because it don't matter. That don't matter to me.
Why has no coach ever put it that way before?
But it doesn't matter to me. But because I'm in the media, I can understand where you guys are coming from. But it don't matter. What matters is, Homer, is the guys in the locker room. It don't matter what y'all think.
Fine.
It matters what the guys in the locker room about.
And you know what they're thinking?
The game plan together.
Yeah, you know what they're thinking?
No, you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're thinking because I don't.
What was it?
No, you don't.
We had a guy who called the plays,
and
we're going to have another guy call the plays. Is one guy going to call the plays now? Yes or no?
No.
Oh.
They know what the game plan is because we're not there. We're not privy to what's going on.
That's not what I asked. Are different people going to call the plays during a game? The answer is no. One guy's going to be in charge of doing the play calling.
Well, normally that's the way it works.
Yes.
Normally that's the way it works. But you also have the assistant upstairs that's in the ear goes, Coach, I think we should run this play.
Sure, of course.
Coach, I think I see the safety doing this. I think we should do this. It's more than just the offensive coordinator.
Of course it is. But in the end, one man is responsible.
Well, it comes out, one voice. Sure.
Yes. And he is more responsible than everybody else. Now, Luke Fickell also said that he thinks this kind of thing is overrated about one man calling the plays, which is fine. You want to keep pushing. The sun is cold. Then you better all anybody is asking is an explanation for a position that is dramatically different.
Why does he owe us an explanation?
Again, I say the same thing.
Well, I don't get it. Why does he owe you an explanation? He owes the guys in the locker room an explanation.
Yeah, and they think it's
crazy.
He
owes the guys in the locker room.
Fine.
No, they don't.
And if you were in that locker room, what he told us is as crazy to the players as it is to us.
Because you don't need to be in my locker room. I don't need you in my locker room. You ain't playing for me.
I don't have to be in that locker. All right.
Exactly. So what you mad about? You ain't playing for me. I don't need you in my locker room. I need them jokers over there in my locker room. They're the ones that need to know what we're doing. If I don't want to tell y'all what I'm not doing, it ain't your business. Y'all all butthurt. All y'all, it should make me mad. All y'all media people all butthurt because he said, well, it's going to be amongst a lot of people, and we'll see. Y'all all butthurt. I wasn't, because I don't care. You know what I care about? Go beat Nebraska.
On. Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Come on. You don't look at...
Open up the phone lines. Pebble, put up a poll. Do you care who's calling the plays? Gary says no.
Yes.
Homer says yes. I want to win on Saturday. I don't care if my mama is calling the plays. I want to win.
Right. Yeah, and you want a good meteorologist. And when he says the sun is cold, you question how good that dude can be.
Not the same.
You've never known a coach in your life that said the play calling is a group deal. In your life. Admit it.
Hey, do we have a phone number here? Because I got people buzzing my phone.
1-800-990-3776. I need to take a break. We'll get those calls.
My phone's blowing up right now.
Have you ever had a coach in the history of your life say, Play calling's a group thing. We got a lot of people calling the plays.
But I know that that's what it is because I played.
Has any
I know it's a group
head coach?
thing.
No, it is.
In the end,
you know it's a group thing, but
from playing ball,
right,
I know that's what it is.
Right.
And I even know that certain players, if you're good enough, also have input in what plays they want to run.
Right.
So
that
it didn't bother me. I know what it is.
No.
The basic premise of play calling is a conglomerate, if I don't know if that's a word, a conglomerate of all the offensive staff with an input, but it comes out one mouth.
Can I ask you a question then?
Sure.
Why'd they fire one guy? They should fire them all.
You're just too smart. I'm not even doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. Who cares? I mean, I get it. Somebody's going to get fired, right?
Yeah, the guy called the play.
He going to get fired. Guess what? Defense coordinator going to get fired. And guess what? The last one going to get fired.
But the defensive coordinator, Gary, everybody contributes. Of course they do. And in the end, that guy decides what to do.
Yeah.
Because, we have a lot of people that group that work on this show. And in the end, you decide what we're going to do.
No. In the end, you decide because you already called me out.
Yeah, you didn't like.
Don't be calling me and telling me. Don't be texting me. Telling me.
You know what I just did?
You
know what I just did, Gary?
What?
I just pulled a Fickle.
What?
I tried. I just pulled a Luke Fickle.
Don't be
it didn't work for me any better than it did for him. 1-800-990-3776. That's what we're going to call a Luke Fickle. You got to just go off the charts. Sun is cold. It's way too much is said about the sun being hot. All right, what we're asking people, do you care who calls the plays, right? Pebble, is that how we did it?
Yep, put it up right now at ESPN Homer on Twitter, at ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter. Do you care who calls the plays for the Wisconsin Badgers football team? Gary says no. Homer says yes. What do you say? Go take the poll right now at Twitter.
Yeah. Do you have I'll even give you the last comment. You can have the last comment.
Let's go to commercial break, man. You make me mad.
Go to commercial break. We got partners to talk to as well. Second quarter. I don't know if it'll be as good, but it'll be good. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
Everything okay? Why do I ever worry
Eastbound
that I have
94,
to
a
use
hefty
the
ride
Ethernet?
coming in from the Zoo Interchange all the way to 35th Street. Westbound's going to be slow from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes west of Highway 16, all the way to Elmhurst Road. So careful with that in Waukesha County. Southbound on the bypass, we got some backups from Greenfield Avenue down towards Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale Interchange onto 894 eastbound. And then on the westbound side, we got some backups from just before 27th Street all the way out to about 51st. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Cloudy skies, a low of 35. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 44. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packs with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
We should do a Luke
From the
Fickle.
WTMJ Traffic Center in Denver, on 94.5 ESPN.
What happens when you mix a three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry. Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put two.
I got it. I could not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you too.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Winter weather is on the way, and that means salt, snow, and grime on your car. ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here. Now's the time to protect your vehicle with a premium wash at Tsunami Express Car Wash. State-of-the-art technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Keep your car looking spotless all season long. Tsunami Express has 5 convenient locations all across greater Milwaukee, making it easy to give your ride the care it deserves. Sign up for a membership at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
All you men, listen up. It's future Mrs. Brust here. I want to tell you about my wonderful experience at Robert Hack Diamonds. My fiance Ben and the team at Robert Hack picked out my dream engagement ring for me, and then I personally worked with their team to pick out the perfect wedding band. Experience what I did at Robert Hack Diamonds. Stop in at their Brookfield or Greenfield location. While you're there, mention ESPN and spend at least $2,000 right now on any of their in-stock jewelry and get a free pair of 2-carat total weight diamond studs. It's a deal you can't pass up. If it wasn't for Robert Hack Diamonds and their team of jewelry experts, I wouldn't have trusted my fiance Ben to make the right call. View what they have in stores online at roberthackdiamonds.com and get free diamond stud earrings. All you have to do is mention ESPN at their Brookfield or Greenfield locations when purchasing at least $2,000 of in-stock jewelry. I promise you won't be disappointed.
This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service, and I've added, as I should have done long ago, over 50 years doing it well. Family-owned for over 50 years. That's how they're so good at everything. Simplify confusing insurance decisions. Level-funded health insurance experts, they got that out. And here's what I should also have been saying. Small enough to handle your needs with special attention and large enough to have the clout to make it happen. You'll get good service because of their service with the insurance companies they deal with. That's how it works. And if you don't know, just ask them or ask anybody. They'll explain it to you. So, Saganiac Planning, 262-783, Roger Maris, 6161. Just remember, 783. And now, it will not be a group. It will be Gary Ellerson, the play caller, with his partner to talk about as well.
I want to talk about good friends over Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, guys, looking for that midday escape or maybe a fun way to impress a client. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you and ready to bring a slice of that summer weather to your life. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, state-of-the-art art simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys around make you feel like summer all year round. And bays cost just $35 an hour on Mondays through Thursdays. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. What you got, home team?
The best 60 minutes of your day. The Gary Ellerson Homer Hour. We have Fat Jack coming up at the end of the show because we don't want to interrupt the flow that Gary Ellerson gets going. We've addressed Luke Fickell. Pebble, you can give us the numbers so far. I am curious of the numbers. I do want you to know that I believe that anybody that disagrees with me is wrong. I mean, they can be wrong, but they're just wrong.
Right now, early on in the voting process, today's Discount Liquor Twitter poll question at the Homer Hour on Twitter. Do you care who is calling the plays for the Wisconsin Badgers? Gary says no. Homer says yes. What do you say? Right now, 57% agree with Gary and say no. 43% would agree with Homer and say yes.
Just wham game, Homer.
Okay, all right. You know what that tells me? I got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do.
No, what it tells you is no one cares about that. Go win the doggone game. But you media people.
Do they care about who's the quarterback?
You media people. No, this is all media. No one else.
It's all about winning the game. Why
no.
Anybody care about who the quarterback? Anybody care about who the head coach is? It's all about winning the game.
You media people, you media people are butthurt over what he said. To me, it don't matter. It matters to the guys in the locker room. Right. But y'all, media people think he owes you something. He owes you to tell you who's calling the plays. And y'all mad about that. Okay, fine. I get it because I'm in the media too. I want to know who's calling the plays. But you know what? That ain't the end all be all. Go win the doggone game, man.
Okay, all right.
I know it's tough for you guys to understand.
You know how I analyze it? You know how I analyze this? Which speaks well of humanity. There's a football issue, and your choices agree with Gary Ellerson, phenomenal football player, and Homer, who's some radio hack.
No,
okay. I don't know. When we talk about lacrosse.
Don't even do that.
When we talk about football, I'm going with Gary Ellerson every time. That's okay.
Don't do that.
I consider against you head-to-head 40% as a win. Do I got 40%
don't
yet?
Even do that. Don't even do that.
You get over 40%, yeah.
All right.
Well, Homer, you're going to win.
Right.
No, you're going to win this as we keep talking about. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Because
I don't think we're not talking about it anymore.
I keep telling you this. I've been in this business long enough to know that people don't think like me. They think more like you. Oh. You represent the fans. I represent on the other side that the fans don't see. And we here, we will be the players. We care about the guy, and that is in our locker room. We know how it is structured. We know that it's more than one guy that comes up with the game plan.
Yeah. All right. I'll take my loss.
Can I? No, it's not a loss. Can I ask Pebble? What does he think?
Sure. You're Gary Ellerson. Or do we have a committee deciding all these things, or is it a?
Can I ask Pebble what do you think?
It doesn't matter who calls the plays because it's usually a group effort among everybody, like Gary has said. I go back to Michigan a couple of years back. Not only did Jim Harbaugh have the final say, but he also coordinated with his assistants, the quarterbacks coach, the running backs game. There's all these different coaches out there. There's the passing game coordinator, there's the running game coordinator, and they all put their pool of ideas in.
Oh yeah, Bill Walsh, Mike Holmgren, all those people giving credit for the Bill Walsh.
But let me say this. No, let me say this. But Pebble, Pebble.
Yes.
But does he owe it to tell the media?
He does not.
Who's calling the plays?
No, coaches do not owe you anything.
Like you think that it's just like Jim Harbaugh. You don't think he's not calling the plays? Every head coach, every team he's head coach of runs the damn ball, and he's not calling the plays. Come on. Mike Homer didn't call the plays.
Sure, he called the plays.
Group.
But Mike Holmgren didn't come up with the list by himself. You see the list. He didn't come up with the play sheet by himself.
What percent of that list was his choice? 90, 95, or 99?
Hold on. Depends on who the quarterback is. If it's Joe Montana, it's probably 50-50. If it's Brett Favre, it's probably 50-50. If it's Aaron Rodgers with Matt LaFleur, it's probably 70-30 Aaron Rodgers.
I'll tell you, with Bill Walsh.
And if it's
Joe Montana,
Aaron Rodgers,
and if it's
Aaron Rodgers, who was offensive coordinator with the Jets that they demoted? Hackett. If it's Aaron Rodgers and Hackett, it's 100% Aaron Rodgers calling the plays.
Yes. Because didn't used to be players pick their offensive coordinator.
But whose mouth is it coming out of? Hackett. But he ain't calling the plays. That's why I'm telling you all this what y'all talking about. Y'all all upset. Y'all all upset about this play calling thing. Is stop it.
But hold on. This makes again the discussion even greater. We all know the guy that got fired was calling all the plays, right? 105% all the plays.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Okay. So when you get rid of one guy who's calling all the plays,
that's not what we're debating.
And you say it's a group, it tells me they have no idea what they're going to do.
No, that's not what it tells you.
In the past, that guy was doing everything.
Because I don't have to tell you that. That's not what it tells you. I'm just telling you that's not what it tells you.
What does it tell you?
Just because I don't want to tell you it doesn't tell you. Well, that's what you think because they didn't tell you who's calling plays, but that's not what it is inside the building.
Well, hold on. All right, but we don't say what it tells you. We'll say this. You believe, like me, the guy who got fired was calling all the plays. No, we're not doing any other poll. That's all. No, that's okay. That's fine.
You want to do another poll? You want
to
do another poll or no?
No, that poll is the best one. We don't need another poll.
Can you tell me what hat you got on right now?
Yes, I'm in the Bahamas, and I love.
You in the Bahamas?
Because it's I'm in the Bahamas. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Marquette's playing Georgia.
No, you're not.
Marquette's playing Georgia tomorrow. Yes, I am.
Oh,
they play Georgia at 11:00 tomorrow. And so I needed a hat, and
they're playing the Dogs. They're playing the Dogs.
The hat. Yes, they're playing the Dogs. They're playing Green Bay. The logo looks so much like the Packers. And we go to all these places, and the hats are like $12. I'm not paying $12. I just want something over my bald head. This baby was $5. $5. And this is a nice hat. I'd like to thank that lady holding that store. She says $7. She goes, give me $5. Yeah.
Is my guy that was coaching is my guy that's coached at Marquette? Is he still at University of Georgia coaching basketball?
No, Tom Crean is not. He's not working at ESPN. The guy there's a guy, Mike White. I think
he's not at Georgia no more.
Before Georgia. No, he's not. No, he's been working on ESPN a couple of years. So, all right, I want to get to San Francisco and Green Bay because I want to know what you're thinking with all the injuries. Okay. I mean, it would be fair to think Brock Purdy's not going to play. I mean,
no, he's not playing. He's out.
He's out for sure.
Well, they've already said it. Brock Purdy is out, and Bosa is out.
Brandon Allen is starting in place of Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
that is.
Cooper for the Packers is out, and so is Jair.
And I'll let you analyze what that means because it's a package of them all. That's coming up in the third quarter next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
This next segment
We've got delays eastbound on 94 from about 92nd Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. We've also got westbound slowing down from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard as well. Southbound on 894, we're seeing backups from south of Greenfield Avenue all the way down and around the Hale interchange. And southbound on 43, we've got some backups from just before Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Capitol, and then again through the Marquette interchange.
I got to do Robert Hack.
Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, cloudy skies, low of 35. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 44.
Correct.
Weather is brought to you by Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive. For a fun family activity, visit or volunteer on December 7th. For more information, visit kidstokidstoydrive.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Robert Hack, because I got to wait till the very end.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Yep. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
But Gary, you do admit it's way better now that
the only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Thanksgiving is almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Thanksgiving dinner can turn your meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Discount Liquor.
The number 15 Golden Eagles stay rolling.
And here's a steal by Chase Ross. It's showtime. He'll hammer it with 2 hands.
It's a battle of the undefeateds in the Bahamas as Saturday morning Marquette takes on Georgia. Our game day coverage starts Saturday morning at 9:30 with Gabe Neitzel and the Marquette Sports Network pregame show. Tip-off with Homer and Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith happens at 10 a.m. 94.5 ESPN is your official home for Marquette basketball. We are Marquette.
Everybody's buzzing about Quick Trip's possibly pilfered potatoes. We have them priced so low, some say they're illegal. Swipe potato fries? Potatoes ill-gotten? Stash browns? Come on, these are not hot potatoes. But it is a quick hot savings. You might say it's a steal. No, don't say that. 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. 5 pounds of potatoes under $1? What a heist. A perfect score for those large meal gatherings. Quick Trip. We got your taters covered.
Panther Arena is the place to be this weekend as Milwaukee men's basketball hosts the Cream City Challenge presented by Cream City Mortgage. The action gets underway on Friday at 7 as the Panthers take on Portland State. Saturday's matchup for Milwaukee is a 3 p.m. game versus Wofford, plus a Sunday matinee against St. Thomas with tip-off at 1:30. Each day features 2 basketball games for one price. Lock in your seats now for the Cream City Challenge this weekend at Panther Arena. Help tilt the floor. Visit MKEPanthers.com to select your seat. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
1, 2, you know what to do.
Yep, I'm going to say it again. 38 minutes. Homer, come on. Stop this. No. Every time. Multiple times. I'll tell you about American Place Casino. Just a half hour south of Franklin. And so is it Homer? You're a little more precise. Okay. I can't say just a half hour south of Franklin. It's exactly 38 minutes. American Place Casino, located in Lake County, Illinois. Great table games, great slot machines, got sportsbook, and great food, and all their promos at AmericanPlaceCasino.com. But somebody else can tell you all that. I want you to hear it so many times. When you think of Homer, you think 38 minutes. Yes, American Place Casino, 38 minutes south of Franklin. 38, exactly 38 minutes south of Franklin. American Place Casino. He doesn't have 38. I'm not sure exactly what his favorite number is. But I know Gary Ellerson's got a partner to talk about right now.
I want to talk about good friends over at the Jewelry Center, guys. They have to be your first stop. Whether it's naturally mined or lab-grown diamonds, the Jewelry Center has options for it all. Maybe you don't know exactly what kind of ring that special someone wants, but if they have a Pinterest board or ideas, bring it to the Jewelry Center. Their team of experts will help your ideal dream to a reality. Learn more about their engagement ring selection or any other services at shoptjc.com or stop in today at any of their 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or Burlington.
And now we have about 7 minutes. Gary Ellerson to talk about games and when players are hurt and is it overstated? You know, the media, I'm not sure that the 49ers, it isn't a greater loss defensively than offensively, but what's your memory, Gary, of the importance of very big injuries as to how a game plays out?
Well, you got to have the quarterback. That's the biggest injury of them all. Is the quarterback. The quarterback drives everything. So when you bring the backup quarterback in, you kind of fall off a little bit, or your playbook gets limited. I mean, we saw
they're going to try to run the ball down.
Yeah,
throat, right.
Yeah, and we saw with Malik. I mean, we know the playbook was limited. So yeah, you'll get a lot of McCaffrey, and you'll get a lot of and a lot of Debo Samuels is what you're gonna get. Stop it.
I'm writing that down. The 49ers, you better put this down, Pebble. The 49ers are going to try to Malik the Packers, right? That's exactly what they're trying to do. Yeah.
Well, what you're going to get what you're going to get is Debo, and what you're going to get is McCaffrey. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you see McCaffrey taking some quarterback snaps or Debo taking some quarterback snaps. Well, there'll be direct run snaps, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if that what you're going to see.
And I think it's fair if the Packers win that you say they caught a huge break. My answer is that the year seems to be going that way. but they've addressed. I mean, they pulled a couple Maliks and won. The 49ers seem to be having a year where they can't pull a Malik and win. But we'll see.
Well, they've been hurt. They've been hurt all year, right? I mean, McCaffrey's been out for better part of the year. I know Trent Williams is banged up as well. Debo is banged up. Here's what you got, Homer. You have the San Francisco 49ers. They're coming down off the hill, right?
Yep.
And you have the Packers still ascending. And what you got also is the Detroit Lions. They're trying to get on top of the hill. As a matter of fact, I would say the Lions are the best team.
Yeah, they aren't even thinking about the Packers and the 49ers. Yeah. They're not worth their time.
They're not. They're already up there. And that's what you see. But listen, next year, the Lions are going to lose the offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. They got to start all over again. I think the 49ers reached their peak. They had their window. Window is just about closed. The Packers window is still open. The Lions window is wide open. So right now, the Packers just got to take care of business. They got to beat a foe that's been able to beat them over the last 5 or 6 years where they stopped them from getting to Super Bowls.
How are you feeling about the Packers as a team? Forget the 49ers. Forget the injuries. I mean, my biggest concern about the Green Bay Packers now is Jair Alexander. I'm not worried about Jordan Love anymore. He's fine. But they need Jair Alexander, and he's hurt all the time.
You got to go without him. And they do. You got to go without him because you see what happens. Bullard now gets exposed because now you got to let him cover somebody. He can't cover anybody. That takes Evan Williams out of the spot that he needs to be in. So it's upset the whole apple cart as far as what that secondary concern. But they're into the Packers' hand because right now they don't have Brock Purdy. I don't think the quarterback that they have really can exploit the secondary the way that they should if they had Brock Purdy.
All right.
You dodged a bullet, so to speak.
But what, as a teammate, how would you feel about Jair Alexander?
Because everybody gets hurt. Everybody have injuries.
Oh, wait, I got a question, sir. No.
What do you do?
People get hurt at different rates. All players don't get hurt the same amount or the same period.
Some guys more than others.
Right. And then how do players handle that? Do you just say, well, feel bad for the guy or what?
Keep moving. No, keep moving. What's you call them? Can you see me? What them horses have on?
Blinders. They got blinders on.
I ain't got time to worry about him. I'm up. It's my time.
You're the coach. How do you take it as coaches? How do coaches take that?
Coaches may be a little bit more invested than the players. Okay, that's a whole different deal.
Hold on. Get this one down, coaches may be a little bit more invested. You're trying to throw at that little
that's
more.
A whole,
yes.
Yeah, it's a whole different deal. Players, next man up. It's my time. Let me do it. I can do it. My time to shine. But coaches, it upsets the apple cart because they know all the juggling they have to do to try to bring this team together.
I could tell. If with my teammates, it just would make me sad. I don't know if football players think like that because how talented people are. You know how talented people are, and I would ask you this: what percentage can players have done to prevent injuries? I'm thinking maximum 10%. So they're just unlucky, or is it greater than that? Do players have the ability to prevent injuries more than 10% on how they take care of themselves?
Doesn't it feel like the Packers are always hurt?
Yes.
The Packers have more soft tissue issues than anybody that I know in the NFL. I mean, you look at Cooper right now. He's going to be out. He pulled a hamstring.
Yes.
I don't know.
All right. Now, here's the line. For anybody who doesn't think the 49ers can beat the Packers, all they need to do is Malik the Packers, and the Packers have Malik a couple of teams this year. Is it that simple? Do you like that analogy?
Give it to me again.
The 49ers just need to Malik the Packers without their quarterback. And you have to believe it can be done because the Packers have Malik a couple teams already this year.
I don't think that it can be because, who did Malik beat?
Okay.
No.
Good point.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Who did he beat?
You got to look at the teams they beat. All right.
The Packers are not the Titans.
All right.
No, they're not the Titans.
So will you be disappointed or shocked if the Packers
lose? Shocked.
Shocked. You're leaving on that one. You got to go on that. Just leave on that. Not as good as the other one.
Good night, everybody.
But good night. Robert Hack Diamonds, I want to mention free because I love free. When you mention ESPN and purchase at least $2,000 of in-stock jewelry, you'll receive a free pair of 2-carat total weight diamond studs. Robert Hack Diamonds, any size, shape, or clarity. They know natural. They know lab-grown diamonds. Talk to them. They'll help you. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. Again, spend at least $2,000 on in-stock jewelry and get 2-carat diamond studs free. Free, as long as you mention ESPN. They'll also repair, they will offer repair services in cash. I didn't do that very well. For your old gold. Robert Hack Diamonds, roberthackdiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield. Oh, we got some help. Get you some money. Gambling. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
46 yards for the win.
The green and gold were saved by the Okay, we're not going to say it. After the win in Chicago, another game with playoff implications on tap for the Pack on Sunday. Catch Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, and Super Bowl champion Jared Bush for Green Bay Game Day on Sunday, live from the shadow of Lambeau Field. Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Sunday starting at noon here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it, I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for free when you mention ESPN and purchase at $2,000 of in-stock jewelry? You'll receive a free pair of 2-carat total weight diamond studs. Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield or in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Spend at least $2,000 on in-stock jewelry and you get 2-carat diamond studs free, as long as you mention ESPN. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. Robert Hack Diamonds, roberthackdiamonds.com, roberthackdiamonds.com. Visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Smalls, bad sign for the Pittsburgh Steelers here, or just a bad game that they lost to the Cleveland Browns?
I think it was just a bad game and a bad loss to the Cleveland Browns. You guys talked about it yesterday when you thought that the Cleveland Browns could win this game. Short week, coming off that game versus the Ravens, obviously a physical game for the Steelers. The conditions certainly didn't help last night. I still think the Steelers are going to be a team to be reckoned with come playoff time. That's a game that you think that they should win, but there's a lot of factors at play last night. I'm not going to sound the alarm bells too much when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't think you need to sound any alarms. It's a division game. It's a rivalry game. Yeah. And we know that Pittsburgh hasn't done well when it comes to traveling to Cleveland on short weeks. I think Mike Tomlin is over in his career. So I don't want to make this a referendum on the Pittsburgh Steelers, but there are a couple of things that they got to get cleaned up.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
The fourth quarter is always awesome. FatJackSports.com. FatJackSports.com. Fat Jack, you need him more than ever because of all the different options. He'll set you straight. Jack, I'm convinced the Dallas Cowboys are so bad, the bookmakers can't believe they're that bad, and I want to ride that freight train, as you always said. Am I going too far?
Wouldn't it be nice if it was that easy, Homer? I mean, that's the thing. By the way, this last week is a good example of the difference between the general public and somebody like me that makes money doing this. The same guys that went up and played Houston on Monday night over the Dallas Cowboys, because Dallas looks to the naked eye like they couldn't beat anybody. They went and won that game, and then they turned around and they gave it all back with Pittsburgh against Cleveland. Everybody had Pittsburgh. Cleveland was the right side. My clients had over the total on Monday night because I also could not stomach walking up and playing the Cowboys. But I understand that lining up with a $50 guy night in and night out is going to lose you money long term. So we played over on Monday night. And then, of course, I had Cleveland along with every sharp player in the world on Thursday. So we're 2-0 going into the weekend. The general public at very most is 1-1. And that kind of leads me to your point here, Homer. When you're talking about Dallas, and here's some information to back up what you're talking about. Double-digit favorites in the NFL this year. We talked about this last week, and then I gave Detroit out as a release to my clients, and we talked about Detroit. But double-digit favorites right now, Homer, are 5-0 against the spread. They're covering by an average of 16 points per game. But here's the problem. If it was that easy to just go out and play the better teams, laying double digits against these inferior opponents, everybody would do it. Everybody would move to Vegas, and everybody do this professionally. So do not get lazy in November. And this is one of those games where the public's going to get lazy. Dallas has covered 5 of the last 6 in the series. What's the motivation for Washington to running it up? They can beat Dallas because Dallas can't score. They can beat Dallas with scoring probably 21 points. And so that leaves some room. I don't expect Washington to open up the offense, to run a lot of play action. They're going to basically stay basic because the only way Dallas stays in this game is if Washington turns the ball over a bunch. So they're not going to take a lot of risk. That's going to keep points down, and it's going to take teams like the Cowboys and also like Carolina in exactly the same spot, and it's going to make them where the money should be. They're not going to win straight up, but be very careful playing that double-digit favorite this late in November because they're not going to win every single game this year. They're going to give back some of that money. They're 5-0 so far. So Carolina, for very similar reasons, Kansas City, Homer, has been a 10-point favorite 0 times all year. The most time they gave 9 points to Tampa Bay, and it took overtime for them to win that game. They're not a team that's winning by margin, and neither is Washington overall. So I would be very, very careful. I would play Dallas. You make me play. There's easier games and certainly games more fun to watch this weekend, but if you make me play it, it's the Cowboys in Carolina. You hold your nose, you go to the window, and you know that you're on the right side where the money should be, not necessarily with the win.
I want to ask how you handle things specifically, but isn't it accurate to say that if you play double digit on a regular basis, you will be broke?
In the NFL over the last 5 years or so, if it gets up around 12 or 13, it's been a profitable bet. Not in the 60% range, but high 50s. It's been a profitable bet. This year has been one-sided. It just double digits is all it has taken, and that's dangerous because guys that have benefited from that, and I've been one of those. I mean, we played Detroit both times when they blew out their opponents. Everybody likes to play against Carolina. But I also understand that just like Cleveland on Thursday, just like a number of these games this weekend, we had the Bears last weekend and I didn't have them, but the Bears last weekend, they should have won. Who walks up and plays the Bears, Homer? I mean, Chicago was dead to right. They've been losing game after game based on the fact that they couldn't defend against the Hail Mary. And yet they cashed tickets last week. The NFL is a league of parity, so be very careful walking up and just playing the better team. But over the last 5 or so years, gets up around 2 touchdowns or more. Favorites have been a winning play. But under that, it flips. So around 10 or 12, generally speaking, you're not going to cover more times than not in the NFL. This year it's gone the other way, but the season is far from over.
All right, another one of my theories that I can scratch. I guess it's real simple on how you're going to play each game. Go check FatJackSports.com, and you'll figure out when to do it and when not to do it. All right, college football. It's a playoff system like none before. So many games are important. Does that affect at all how you're deciding to look at games now? Because what are there? 10 important games, 15 important games every week? Because all those teams could get in.
Yeah, I think we're learning on the fly with what the committee is actually looking at or not looking at. That's been, I think, the frustrating thing for people. I think most people at this point understand that you're going to get the best of the non-Power 4 conferences in, and they're going to have a place in place of one of the SEC or Big Ten teams. We also understand that conference champions are going to get by. So I think people get that. What they're puzzled by is what else is the committee looking for? Do they care about quality losses versus record? And it's real dangerous, Homer, for us to get in this world of we just want the best records to play, especially when you have some of the best football being played in the SEC. And so to my point, it becomes about the eye test. This is like looking at the playoff system maybe 5-6 years ago, where guys in that committee are looking at, well, how do they look? So you're going to have bigger favorites win by margin whenever they can, because I think they think they're trying to impress the committee. And you'll have a couple of those this week, where in the past that hasn't really mattered. I mean, you've just, as long as you get it done, you win, you move forward. And then barring a big injury, you got your place in the playoff. Now that it's expanded, they've gone back to this, not only record, but how you're winning. That becomes a tougher thing. So look for Notre Dame. This is one of their big spots. Without a conference championship, every game becomes super important with them. Winning by 3, not going to be as good for them as they blow out Army. Army 9-2 against the spread this year. They've been very, very good versus the number, and one of only about 6 teams, Homer, that has allowed less than 10 points in 5 or more games. So Army, Ohio State, Texas, Tulane, Mississippi, and Nebraska all have done a very good job defensively against a lot of teams. So defensively, they are a formidable team. I'm not sure, kind of like when Navy played Notre Dame, I'm not sure that they can keep up. So that becomes the problem. Navy got into Notre Dame. When they got behind, they become one-dimensional and something they can't do, don't like to do, which is throw the football. It became a problem. I would play Army in the first half. I'd play under in the first half, and then probably Notre Dame in the game. But look for teams like that. Ohio State's another one. Indiana, I think this is an elimination game for them, in my opinion. I'm not on the committee, but if they lose this game, I don't care if it's by 3 points or 30 points. For me, there's better teams in the SEC based on who they've played versus who Indiana has actually beaten. This will be by far Indiana's best win if they were to win. So a small loss against a good team, one good team, to me doesn't hold as much weight. So, but expect these big favorites to draw off whenever they can.
You beat me to the punch. I was real curious about Ohio State. I want to say they're just going to put a whooping on Indiana. I'm impressed with what Indiana's done, but I don't know what to think of Ohio State. And what's go again to FatJackSports.com. Explain Ohio State and their coach.
Yeah, it's we don't know is the thing. I mean, they looked good against bad teams, and they're not the only one. So it's not like we're picking on Ohio State but Texas is the same thing. I mean, Texas has looked good against bad teams. They lost to Georgia at home. So I mean, Ohio State's very similar, right? I mean, they have a bunch of wins against teams they should beat. They lost a game that they probably should have lost. So we don't really know how good they are. But the name on the front of the jersey, don't ever pretend that doesn't matter. So the same record with Indiana probably doesn't hold near as much weight as the same record with Ohio State, because we just expect Ohio State to be better. So are they going to win here? I think they win. I think they don't cover. I think Indiana is good. The receivers are the real deal. They'll extend the field. They'll present some similar problems to what Oregon presents against teams that can throw it down the field. I don't know if they get there in the end, and turnovers certainly will be a big part of this, but I would play Indiana plus the points. In my opinion, it's going to be what does the committee do with a loss like that as it relates to teams like Tennessee and teams like Texas A&M and teams like, that second tier SEC team. that is much more battle-tested, albeit against other teams within their conference. I just think that holds a little more weight. If Tennessee plays Indiana, if Indiana loses, Tennessee wins. Tennessee is the favorite over Indiana going forward if they play on a neutral field. So Tennessee, in my opinion, is better than Indiana. So when you start trying to figure out who gets in on those two teams, that's where it becomes really tough.
Go to FatJackSports.com. I always want to give you the opportunity to finish with something you want to close with. Maybe it's a game or it's a team that I neglected to mention, or you've always got something going on at FatJackSports.com.
Yeah, a couple of upset spots, or not upsets, but a couple of probably easier spots in trying to figure out how good Indiana actually is. I think Auburn might be in the right spot to beat Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a really difficult spot with a look ahead toward Texas coming up on the horizon. Auburn, if they don't turn the ball over, is very formidable, especially at home. Look for that game to go right down the wire like Auburn in that one. The other one, a team that the line setters just don't seem to think is as bad as they actually are, is Oklahoma State. Texas Tech's a good team. I mean, they're really good at home, but even on the road, this is a team that normally outperforms the market. They're 5-0 against the spread their last 5 at Oklahoma State, and 6-1 against the spread their last 6 in the series. Oklahoma State can't stop anybody, and when you get a team that can't stop anybody versus a team that can score against most people, that becomes a problem, even though it's in Stillwater with OSU off a bye. So I would go ahead and lay the points and play the Red Raiders on the road as well.
Always a pleasure. We'll talk again next week. Thanks, Jack.
All right, brother. Go get them, Homer. See you soon. Go to FatJackSports.com. It's less than $100 a week to win, and all the games are posted and documented.
I can't say it better than that. What's next isn't as good as this.
We've got delays eastbound